Hey, hello everybody.
Hello.
We're back again. Uh, so, thought I saw a thing there, technical difficulties, but I guess not. So we're good to go. So we've got some more information for you on the coronavirus stuff and what you can do about it. So we're going to get into that pretty quick here. So let's go ahead and just as a little history too, it's our 37th year here at Natural Health. And so we've been around a lot of things. I lived through the swine flu, not the one in 2008, but the one in 1977. That was the first one. So this stuff's been going on for a long time here and there. So and we're still here. So that's always a good thing. So we're going to start by going over some of the Dave Ramsey statistics. If you want to check on this yourself, you can go to Dave Ramsey. Just Google this. Dave Ramsey focus on the good news. It's a Facebook thing, so you can go to good news on coronavirus, Dave Ramsey, whatever, something like that, and it'll get you to his Facebook thing, and then it's right there. That's where this comes from. So it's good news there. So a couple of things I want to go over with you, kind of explain this as we go, is that China has closed down its last coronavirus hospital, not enough new cases to support them. So what we're getting to here is that it's already starting to fade a bit. All we've heard is numbers are going up. Well, we're hearing that the numbers of cases reported are going up. That's because you're testing more people. So in other places, and not just the United States, it's starting to change. The next one here, doctors in India have been successfully treating coronavirus, combination of drugs, which is fine. I mean, that's okay. This is an emergency thing. You have to use drugs for that if you can find things, of course, but that doesn't get rid of the cause. Again, we're back to why did this happen in the first place? It wasn't from a lack of drugs. It's from a bad immune system, people's bad immune system. So we need to address that, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Researchers at the Erasmus Medical Center claim to have found an antibody against coronavirus. Great. Again, I mean, it can be artificial, but the body has to do this at some time or another. Even if you use artificial things for a short term, at some time, the human body itself has to take over. So you have to have a strong immune system for this to ever work. At some point, if you want to not have problems every year with the flu, whatever number it is, whatever name you're giving it, you have to have a good working immune system. 103-year-old Chinese grandmother has made a full recovery from COVID-19 after being treated for 6 days in Wuhan, China. So again, 103, that should be pretty much, you'd think immune compromised, wouldn't you? I mean, over 60, but her immune system came back and got it handled. So again, it's not age. In this country, the medical system looks at the human body as just getting aged and falling apart. And there's just nothing you can do about it. And that just is not right. It's not true. When we're seeing this in China here, this one lady, of course, it's one instance, but people's bodies are meant to be well. And we talk about this in some of our training, or when we talk to our patients and their training actually. For instance, you get a cut on your hand, and that cut normally heals up, in a week, 10 days, somewhere in there. It's pretty much gone. But your body, the rest of the things should be that way too. If you're suffering from high blood pressure, diabetes, all these other things, it means the body can't heal itself. Why is that? That question needs to be asked. Or another good one is if your cholesterol number is high and giving you statin drugs to stop it, well, statin drug is making your liver not produce it. Why is it producing it? These questions are never asked. Statin drug is very hard on the immune system because it's very hard on the liver and things that are going on there. Just need to know that. Apple reopens all 42 China stores. So, I mean, you're already getting the economy rolling back in China. So, I mean, we can have that too. We're going to get there too. Cleveland Clinic developed a COVID-19 test that gives results in hours, not days. Getting some improvements there. So again, we've seen that just giving more tests makes the numbers go up. Well, if they can do it in hours, now it's going to go up again. We're going to have another leap because people are just going to find more cases. And I've been talking to patients who had problems like this back in September, November of last year. So, or patients' friends, people that they've talked to that had these same symptoms. So again, I don't think this was just from China. I think it's been around, but anyway, we don't care. Just want to get rid of it. That's the main thing. Good news from South Korea, where the number of new cases is declining already. So that's great. I mean, again, starting to get a handle on it. Italy's hard hit. Experts say only because they have the oldest population in Europe. That's one of the things. Also found out that they drink coffee all day. They don't drink water. They eat at 8 o'clock or later at night. So they don't sleep well. They have all kinds of things that are not good for health. And so they have their own problems. And if you want to get into it, they are open border country too. So they have all kind of problems with that going on. Scientists in Israel likely to announce development of a coronavirus vaccine. Great. If that's helpful, that's great. But the problem is, what is it? And I'm going to try to explain this. And I don't want to sound like I'm anti-vax. I'm just anti things that don't work. So if you can figure out how to get the vaccine to work right, fine. But most of the statistics that you'll find, especially for the flu, I can't remember a flu vaccine that has worked in the recent past. I mean, they'll start with a flu vaccine. They come to find out, well, that was the wrong strain this year. So the next year we'll try a different strain. Well, then the next year, oh, sorry, it was the wrong strain again. So you have to have a functioning immune system for the vaccines even to work. Even if it's the right bug that they're working on, the idea with the vaccine is to give you a little case of it so that you develop antibodies to it. And then when it actually comes around or you get worn down enough that you contract it, your body can handle it. The problem is, again, the immune system has to be built up to the point that it will do any good. And what's happened in the manufacturing of vaccines over the years, they've been adding adjuvants. And the adjuvants are things that are supposed to irritate the immune system into action. Why does the immune system need to be irritated? Because they don't have one in the first place. So they're trying to artificially stimulate the immune system to artificially produce antibodies to artificially handle a bug that might be coming down the pike. So again, if you can get it to work, that's fine. It's a good thing, but you have to still address the immune system. And that's what you'll see if you look at the CDC. Dr. Chip's going to talk about that in a little bit here. The degenerative diseases that are out there are the report card, is a report card on the CDC's website for the mainstream medical treatment. I'm not blaming doctors or anything. I'm just saying that's how the mainstream is working. All the degenerative diseases are going up. So that means our health is getting worse. So there needs to be a change. When we get, and this is not for right now in this crisis, but after this crisis, this all needs to be addressed if we ever want to stop this and not have to go through this every year. Because if the flu season is going to happen every year. So anyway, I just want people to understand what vaccines are about. They're a good thing if you can get them to work, but you still have to have a functioning immune system. 3 Maryland coronavirus patients fully recovered, able to return to everyday life. That's great. And you're going to have a lot more of these stories, which we're going to see here. Network of Canadian scientists are making excellent progress in COVID-19 research. Great. I mean, there's going to be a lot of research on it now, but again, looking at one bug, what happens next year when it's a different, how about COVID-20 or COVID-22 or whatever it is? A San Diego biotech company has developed a COVID-19 vaccine. Good. Another vaccine, great. That's great. But again, let's look at why people have problems in the first place and work on the immune system. Tulsa County's first positive CDC case is recovered. This individual had 2 negative tests, which is indication of recovery. Great. Coronavirus tracker put up by Johns Hopkins University Medicine shows that more than 73,000 people worldwide have recovered from the COVID-19 virus so far. So that's 73,000. That's great. That's people that have recovered. They've got it and recovered. So if they can do it, why can't we? America spends the most money on health, so we should be able to recover. But again, you got to address that immune system. So important. Plasma from newly recovered patients can treat others affected by COVID-19. Great. Again, the antibodies are working there, will help. But again, that person's body's immune system still has to get going there. So it's not all bad news. Let's care for each other, be responsible, stay focused on safety of those most vulnerable. And I'm hoping that the politicians will work on here eventually finding out that, identifying people that are most vulnerable and let the rest of us get on with our lives. I'm thinking that's probably what we'll work into eventually, kind of a stage recovery of things as it goes on. And again, the people that are hoarding toilet paper, just think about everybody else. I mean, how much can you use in a week? So let's think about everybody else. Let's all work on this together. So listen to your time, listen to the TV. We talked about that, and there are other ones. The networks are working on ratings, selling things for advertisers, but they're just going to keep harping on this. If you keep watching, you're just going to keep harping on it, and that's not good for anybody. It doesn't do you any good. It doesn't make any sense. So just limit that. If you want to get your news, that's fine. Listen to it once, but then don't watch it all day. Nerve-wracking, instills fear, anxiety, misinformation. Guess what bothers your immune system? Fear and anxiety. It's hard on the immune system. You just don't need it. So pray or put a puzzle together, something like that. Anything else but that. Please take time to spend with family. Moment to go outside. Weather's supposed to get warmer this week, so get outside if you can. Fresh air is great. Walk the dogs. Move. Don't just sit around watching the news. The worst thing you can do is sit at home, nervous Nelly, watching TV, getting anxiety and depressed, and then eating ding dongs, cereal, hamburger helper. You're just asking for trouble. So just don't do that. Do other things. Is that good? So we'll go back to Dr. Shiva's notes, and if you Dr. Shiva had some good videos out there, and you can look up his things. And sure, just YouTube and just put Dr. Shiva, and they would have some things in there. We've had that on other our other videos. Was that coming up the website probably, or the last one? The last videos.
The last video we have them in the caption, but we'll put them in the caption either during the video or after this video.
Yeah, so you can get back to that website. But again, he's talking about sugar. So we've talked about this forever here about sugar being a problem, and we look at it because the body can use sugar. That's why the medics have an issue with this. They don't quite see it in our way. The body can run on sugar. It can run on glucose and make energy from glucose. But the problem is we were never meant to have sugar in a refined state. That turns into a drug then, and there's no nutrition to it. So the body likes the energy of sugar. It wants to store that energy. That's why it turns it into fat. But if you don't have the minerals in that refined sugar, it steals it from other places. It robs Peter to pay Paul, kind of a thing. And what's the system that is most affected by that? The immune system. So eating sugar, it causes a big problem there on the nutritional side. Now, Dr. Shiva talks about it, and which is true, the more sugar you eat, the more base pH your gut becomes, and that allows for your yeast fungus to get, your candida to get a hold, and that produces toxins that destroys the white blood cells and T cells, and that's very hard on the immune system. So again, it destroys the immune system function, destroys immune system function because of the sugar, because of the candida, and other pathways. The sugar is very, very harmful there. I'm going to talk about, again, white flour, white sugar, that whole thing, all that refined carb, refined foods. So those out there who are eating bread going, well, I'm not eating sugar. Well, bread turns to sugar in the body. Hamburger helper, all the noodles, that turns to sugar. Cereal, it's just loaded of sugar, and it's a grain in the first place, which is sugar. So very high glycemic values, and those are the ones that cause the most trouble. The higher glycemic value, which means the body absorbs it very quickly, the worse it is for things. Now, the interesting thing here, the viruses don't kill you. It's the compromised immune system that kills. It's the cytokine storms, and Dr. Shiva talks about that. But it's a deal where if your immune system doesn't work right, it can't handle things correctly, it overreacts because it can't work the right path, overreacts, and the cytokines are the things that do the destruction and eventually kill people that have big problems anyway. And the coronavirus is especially hard on people who have breathing lung issues, that tissue. So what are you doing to help and help yourself, help your friends and neighbors? Again, that's why we're here. We're trying to help. We're trying to get people the information they need to help themselves to be healthy. not just survive this crisis only, but to work on later things too. Again, just general information. There's 6 trillion human cells, but there's 60 trillion bacteria in your body, mostly in the gut. And these are bacteria that are helpful most of the time, help you to produce a lot of vitamins, B vitamins and things. But there's 380 trillion viruses in your body at all time. And the body has the ability to handle all this. It does it all the time. So again, it's not big news. A small amount of fungi, and again, the candida fungus is in your body. It's there all the time. But as long as you're not doing things that cause it to get out of control, you don't have any problems with it. Again, there's a lot to do with pH. And so that's again with sugar and all that thing we just talked about there. Dr. Chu talks about vitamin A deficiency. I think this is in prevention there. So again, vitamin A is one. He didn't have time to go into a lot more, but there's a whole bunch of other things. And that's why we work with foods here, food supplements, whole food supplements, because they have all of the vitamins in there, not just the vitamin A. And if you think you can go to the store and just pick up a vitamin A capsule, that's a synthetic. And again, you're not getting all the things you need for the immune system to work correctly. You may help the vitamin A part, but not all the rest of it. So real important there. So the 10 myths about the 1918 flu epidemic, again, the little saying about if you don't study history, you're bound to repeat it, and we are. That's what we're doing, is repeating it again. The 1980, the Spanish flu had a lot of different circumstances that led to that. But if you study it, you'll find out it was mostly all due to, again, lowered immune systems from different reasons, mostly sanitation issues and lack of refrigeration, which that has been handled, but there's a lot of other problems right now. So a couple of these are always good to look at. The one I like to go through is that therapies of the day had little impact on disease. And that's because there's no specific antiviral therapies were available during the 1918 flu, which is still largely due today. Again, the medics don't have anything for viruses because it's a problem of there's really nothing to kill there. Virus is not a live thing. It's interesting how it works. But anyway, it's about, again, back to the immune system, the broken record of the immune system. You got to have a functioning immune system. Anything you want to add while we're on this one?
Again, the pandemic was the work of a super virus. Again, guys, it was the crowding situations again, and poor nutrition, sanitation. Again, Dr. Mark, I think it said this last time, but plumbers have done amazing work in recent or past years to help people save lives. So that's a big one.
Yeah. So a lot of good things there. Anyway, you can read through these. We can spend more in a previous video too.
We'll probably put that link in the comment section either during the video or after. Yep. Or now, yeah.
Or now, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so Dr. Chip's going to take over with some good information.
Okay. All right. So, I want to put some more good news about the coronavirus in there too. I found this online here. It says the reduction in air pollution in China. The reduction in air pollution in China, this economic disruption likely saved 20 times more lives in China than have currently been lost due to infection with the virus in that country. Professor Marshall Brew, Stanford University. It's just saying is that, again, with what the virus came to be about here, but there's been a lot of positive changes in the world. And you could say is that all the pollution that China was having, a lot of that decreased because people stopped with the economic stuff. So again, people a lot of times die in China with the pollution. So this is kind of Mother Nature kind of working her course here. Now there's another little thing I have put on here is in Italy, water canals are cleaner and is showing animal life for the first time in a long time. And so that, again, is stating is that Mother Nature really knows how, or really knows what to do in cases of chronic illness. If we don't take care of Earth, then we're going to get kind of the wrath of Earth. So again, a lesson for us to learn to make positive changes. And so again, this is a time that we really need to kind of sit back and kind of reevaluate how we handle our health, how we should go about our everyday lives and making sure that we do the right things necessary for us to be healthy.
I'm going to break in real quick too. I forgot to mention at the beginning, if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments sections, and then we'll answer them for you too. So anybody has any questions out there, just stick them in the comments. We'll answer them either now, tonight, we're doing this, or later on when we get those later. So if you view this later. Okay, great. Thanks.
All right. So this is pulled from the CDC's website, straight from the website there, and these are the statistics. And again, showing kind of the top death rates here. Heart disease being one of the top, then cancer, then respiratory disease, and so on. But again, cancer, we can kind of hit on this, is cancer is an immune deficiency disorder. And so again, if you're immune deficient, if your immunity is decreased at any time, you can have a specific infection that takes a person's life quickly, or you can have something that is a chronic issue, such as cancer. And again, cancer can be found in all parts of your body, be it the bones, the lungs, the kidney, all these different things, because the immune system is part of all this. We are a system. Our bodies are a system. And instead of just attacking one little thing, again, we are made up of, again, let's say 380 trillion viruses. Why focus on the virus when we can work as a system? And again, if we heal our bodies, we know how to heal our bodies based on a systemic approach. Why don't we treat Earth like this? Being that we need to help the whole world be more of a healthy place. And so again, we keep focusing on more of this virus and how it comes back and forth, kind of the swine flu and bird flu and Ebola and now coronavirus. But we've been sick for a long time, and many people are sick. And so instead of, again, this is just a lesson for us to learn. We need to get our health back. We need to get our health back on track. So again, this is pulled from the CDC's website too. It says 6 in 10 of people have a chronic illness, and 4 in 10 have 2 or more. And so what that's stating is that more than half of us are sick. And what that means is that, again, of course, there could be a bug that comes along the way and kind of wreaks havoc on us a little bit because we have a weakened immune system. And so again, these are these different diseases: heart disease, cancer, lung disease, stroke, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and chronic kidney disease. And so a lot of these diseases, people think, oh, I just caught it like the bug or like the virus. But again, this happens over time with any different stress in your life, be it a nutritional thing where you're eating sugar constantly every day, or processed foods. You're not doing the right things for movement. You're not doing the right workouts or exercising, walking every day, or you're not handling an emotional stress or just different fears or anxieties. And so if you think that fear has any influence on your life, if any negative influence or negative thinking can potentially harm your health in a way, the mass media is putting a lot of fear in people. And I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. I'm saying is that they're trying to protect people in a way, but a lot of times is that people are so focused on the fear is that these things can happen very quickly. And so when people are sick, that's how a lot of money is generated. Not saying good or bad, just saying is that we need to figure out how to decrease all these different diseases.
I'm going to break into and talk about that just real quick, about that America spends the most per capita on health, and we're one of the sickest nations in the world. And so why is that? I mean, people don't ask that question. We're worried about paying our deductibles for insurance, but we're not asking the right question. We're asking, why do we have to even do that? So it's just another thing that you need to think about, even maybe not in this crisis, but later. Evaluate your health and where you're at with it, and get to change if you need to.
Yeah, and it's right on here too, is that the key lifestyle risks for chronic disease. So again, a chronic disease is not fixed overnight. You can't take something such as a pill or medication and think that, okay, you're healthy because the symptoms are gone or the pain's gone. No, you need to get to the underlying causes And again, we love to help people here at our office with all that, but you can help yourself every day doing the common things. So, and they're not hard, it's just little things every day can make a big difference. And so I'm going to touch in about the chiropractic part here and how chiropractic helping the immune system. A link kind of showing is how the immune system and the nervous system are closely related and how they have a link between them. And then the next research article here is how chiropractic positively influences the brain. And so why that's important is that chiropractic can be shown to influence the immune system in a positive way. So the immune system, again, can be found in a lot of these different organs, and that the nervous system, well, the nervous system controls and coordinates everything. So wouldn't you think it'd be important to have a healthy nervous system, healthy brain and spinal cord, so that you're giving the right signals to the immune system? We'll talk about again, we've talked about these, and we kind of bring up this information more and more so that just like the subconscious mind learns, you can kind of hear it more and more, and it sinks in a little more. But the 1918 influenza epidemic and chiropractic care, again, chiropractic was not born out of helping people with neck and low back pain. It helped many, many people with many different illnesses. And all those chronic diseases back here, chiropractic helped a lot of those cases there too. So we'll kind of talk about the stats now. So with the influenza back then, out of 10,000 cases, 950 died with medical methods. And then under drugless methods, 25 out of the 10,000 died. So that's a big difference there. And it's just showing that there are other ways to help with different things. So just like a flu being, or pneumonia or anything, any type of like a virus, again, you can't take a medication to block the virus. It's your immune system. And again, chiropractic has been shown to really help the immune system. So again, building the body up is going to help with that. And then the pneumonia, with the medical methods, out of 10,000, 6,400 died, and out of drugless methods, 100 died. So again, it's just showing that there are different ways to help you be healthy. And I wanted to touch on that too, is that, again, so I was a football player, I play a lot of football, and how I looked at it too is that if you have a good offense, that's great. But if you have a poor defense, then you're always getting scored on and you'll always play catch up. And so it's like you're kind of waiting for the clock to expire with your points higher than the other team. But instead of doing that, again, if you have a great defense, then you have a good offense. Eventually, you'll be able to kind of let the other team, or not let the other team score. And so now you can kind of have a good turnover or anything like that. I'm sure you know what football is about, but it'll help that the defense is so strong that it can be actually used as a good offense. So that's how I like to look at it. So how do we be healthy? Again, eat healthy, take good nutrition, sunlight, moving. Again, moving is great for getting nutrient and blood supply to the areas it needs to go, getting the lymph to drain so that the immune system is able to help itself. Aware of the negative thinking, the fear that is being put into a lot of people is causing a lot of health issues in itself, not just the virus. So we need to be aware of that. Gratitude can really help switch that negative thinking around and help us. And then relax and sleep. So again, it's more just taking time for yourself in these times. Again, we've been we've been told to kind of stay at home. We've kind of been mandated to do so. And so in those times, why not, make sure you're doing the right things to be healthy. And again, here at our office, we love to help people be healthy and take the right proactive steps. And so why is chiropractic offices still open? Because they've been deemed essential healthcare providers. And why are they essential healthcare providers? Well, because they are helping with the nervous system. And again, just like the Spanish flu back then, they're helping the immune system. And so in times of crisis like this, we can really help people with those certain issues. So yeah, So next health shop, we've been kind of wanting to get the gut-brain connection going, but we know that there are other things coming up that we wanted to make sure that we're addressing. So that date is to be determined. But again, if you have any questions, we'd like to answer them any way we can.
Okay, so no questions. It's fine. If you review this later, I can always leave questions on it, or just call the office 217-228-2040. We're always happy to help patients with health issues, and in our office, we handle all kind of things. Between our chiropractic side, the nerve side, helping the body get the nervous system work correctly, nutritional side, what I try to work on, getting the body the materials they need, and then our emotional side with Master Eddie, they're getting people to calm down a little bit and get rid of some bad emotions and thoughts and things. We're always trying to get our energies up, work on positive energies. And if you have positive energy for feeling good and vibrant health, the viruses just don't bother anything. Infections just don't bother you. So that's what we're always trying to get people to work towards. Again, we'll have this on YouTube and Brighteon.com under the Natural Health Quincy channel. So you can review that if you like. Again, if you get a chance, please look at Dr. Shiva's notes. I really like him because he's an engineer. He's coming from a totally different point of view than the medical people. And they do good things, but a lot of times they're looking at it from a different angle that may be kind of a short-sighted angle. So we want to look at the whole systems approach, like Dr. Chip talked about. Dr. Shiva's big into systems. We have to look at the body as a whole, and not just we go to the heart doctor and the urinary doctor and the skin doctor, and that's got things departmentalized. And I understand why they do that, but for health. For true health, we have to look at the body as a whole. So important there. So again, if we can help, just give us a call. I'd love to help anybody. I think that's it for the night, and we'll sign off and hope to see you soon again. If you can, like us on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, subscribe to our channel. All those things go on. We appreciate all of that. And tell your friends and neighbors, please try to pass on this good news information to people. So instead of watching the TV and seeing all the bad news and numbers of issues, they can look at some good news and know that things are already on the way up. So we've already passed the bottom, I think. So that's great. Have a great evening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. See you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.